Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Flexi webinar. My name's Bennett. I'll be the moderator for today. Our presenter is Aaron Clapp, application specialist at SAi, and he knows just about everything there is to know about Flexi. And today he'll be demonstrating something new to Flexi 21, the ability to define your own custom cut lines and spot colors and assign cutting conditions or tools to them. So this will be a good one. Shouldn't be here too long, but it'll be some good information. After the presentation, we'll be able to answer any questions you have, either about this feature or any other Flexi topics. So feel free to put those questions in the chat and we'll answer as many as we can. We are recording the webinar as always. So if you want to review anything that Aaron discusses or share it with someone else, we'll be sending you all the link here this afternoon. So be on the lookout for that. And with that, we're ready to get started. So I'll let Aaron take it away.
All right, sounds good. So we're going to talk about these custom spot colors. Now, let's jump into Flexi here. I've imported a little graphic here, and we'll just kind of use this as a temporary graphic here for our tests. Now, you've noticed if you've ever done a contour cut in Flexi, that we always have in Design Central, we always have these contour cut colors down here. Say cut contour 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, and then the perf cut. These are kind of like an industry standard type contour cut naming scheme that most RIP softwares understand, and you're probably well aware of that. So yeah, I can use these cut contours in a PDF or an EPS file, and then take that file and rip it on a different RIP, and they will understand that that's a contour cut. And that's really great to know, especially if you're the one creating the graphic. Now, when it comes to other people creating the graphic or working with other designers that are maybe not in-house or getting graphics from a customer or from a different place, they may not always have the industry knowledge of the printing industry. And so their contour cut colors may not always match up with these specified here. So if we apply one of these contour cuts, and we'll just export this as a PDF here, just so we can kind of illustrate this example in the production manager here. We'll open up production manager and let's just drag this file right in here. Okay, so when we open up this file, immediately we know that it recognizes the contour cut because of two things. First of all, we see in the workflow tab, it allows us to choose a cutter. And then also we see the contour cut tab. Obviously, this is pretty self-explanatory, but this is something that it shows up and it knows what to do with that contour cut. So that's really good. Now, the problem might be is if you get a contour cut from a place that's unknown or that doesn't have the same contour cut as you do. Or if you even want to create your own custom contour cut color so that it's easier to see and things like that. And that's kind of what the motivation usually is for someone using a different color contour cut color, is it makes it easier to see. I've seen lime green, pink, red, whatever it takes to kind of maybe make that contour cut pop so that they can see it in contrast to the design. So let's take this graphic here. We'll clear our contour cut. I'm just going to go to my color bar down here, right click, and go to color specs. And we're just going to generate a new contour cut color. I'm going to right click on my contour cut colors down here, and I'm just going to give it a new name. So we'll just call this pink contour cut. And I'm going to pick a color for it, and we'll just start out with red. Well, I guess red is not pink, so let's go with pink. And I'm going to switch it to a spot color. That'll be important to make sure that this is a spot color. So I started out just with the color picker and then just switched it to spot. And this is going to be a new contour cut color, as we can see here. It's been labeled pink contour cut. So now when I go and choose this color, I can use it as a contour cut. But it's not going to necessarily be recognized if I were to import this file into the software. So we'll take a look at that. So let's hit OK. And now it shows up in my color bar down here. So I'm going to grab my graphic. We'll do contour cut, and I'm going to use my new color. Now Flexi will understand what I'm doing here and hit apply. So Flexi, if I were to hit rip and print, the rip and print software already knows that this is a contour cut. That's not a problem. It already sees that because it's all built into the software. And so many times that's not an issue. The issue will become if the file comes in from an external source. So we're going to pretend to do that by exporting this again as a PDF, and we're just going to call this a pink contour job. Okay, and we'll just save that to the desktop. And then I'm going to open up Production Manager, and this time let's get rid of this job, and we are going to add a new contour cut color after we show you what happens here when we import this file. So we go to, I'm just going to drag it in from my desktop. There we go. Drag and drop it into Production Manager here. Okay, and one of the things that you'll notice is that under our contour cut tab, we do have a contour cut, and in this case, it's recognized it because I think it's pulled this in from Flexi. But normally, you would see this as a blank area right here. So this would show up as nothing here. So in fact, if we just, it won't let me delete this, but this will show up blank. It'll show up completely blank, and there'll be nothing in here. And so what we'd want to do, and let's just see if we can get it to do that here. I was testing this earlier, and it worked okay. So let's clear the contour cut. Let's make a new contour cut just because I want to see if I can kind of show you what this will look like. So let's do, and you know what? Maybe it's because of the capital C. So let's go like this. Instead of using the capital C, let's just do red color. I could type here, red color cut. And let's do this in a red color because I think that contour name is what's pulling that in here. So no, we want red on all colors. And let's do lab. No, not lab. Sorry, spot. Okay, red contour cut. Hit OK. Now we're not using the contour cut name at all. Let's do here. Let's choose our new one. Apply. Export. Red cut file. Okay, let's try that. Delete and import. And we're just importing this into our printer at the moment. Okay, for some reason it's not cooperating with me. Well, that's okay. Whatever. So at the moment it's not cooperating like I wanted it to. It shouldn't show you anything here. But anyway, so normally this would be blank, and so you wouldn't see anything here. So what we would need to do is we would need to say, okay, well, let's go ahead and set up our contour cut color that we know that this particular designer uses in his files inside of Production Manager. So what you would do is you'd go into your Muto value cut or whatever cutter. This could be any cutter. They'll all have this option. You go to Default Job Properties. We'll go to the Contour Cut tab, and then we're going to set cut line color. So I can click on this now, and I can give my spot color a name. So whatever that spot color is inside the file, I will just duplicate that here. So let's just double check our color name. We call it red color cut. And of course, that is going to be important for keeping it capitals and whatnot, case sensitive and things like that. Then you can also change your cut fast, cut slow, so you can decide which one you want. If you've created a custom cutter option for your cutter for some specific material, you can also once you save that inside of your cutter, it'll also show up here. So if you've made any custom ones, they'll show up in this list as well. We'll just leave it at cut fast, and then I'm going to just change the display color. Again, this really has anything to do with the way that it handles it. This is just a kind of visual color so that when you click OK and OK, you can kind of just differentiate it from different and other contour cut colors. In case you might have multiple contour cut colors, this is just kind of a display color. So once we've done that, we can hit apply and OK. And then when we import a file, the next time we import a file with this particular color, and we'll re-import this file, it would automatically recognize this particular cut file with that cut color and its settings. So if we go back in here, now we'll see, now it'll bring in our color here, red cut color. So now because mine is doing something weird with the contour cut or cut contour, that's what's causing this. I probably need to just restart, but we've got our cut fast option set, and we've got this ready to go. We can even set cut line colors inside of the Muto if we want to, if we already have a job in set. So we can set this line color here, and we can do the same thing here. So we can choose a spot color name if it has a spot color in the file, and then we would be able to assign that to a specific set. So the benefit here is that now you can have any contour cut color you want. It doesn't have to be a specific name. So if you get files from other customers and other places, they're not always going to use the industry standard in the RIP industry for your cut contour, perf cut, things like that. They're going to have different colors. And even if you want to use your own colors that you would prefer to use versus just the standard gray colors, just for visibility's sake, this is a really great way to accomplish that, is setting the line color, creating that color inside of Flexi, or you can even pull that color right from the job itself like we did here, and we can assign it in our cutter. Then that way, when that cutter sees that file or when that job gets imported, it will recognize the cut color. Now, basically what would happen before is I would open the file and it would show me the contour cut tab, and it would even show me the workflow tab, but it wouldn't it would show with no registration marks around the file. And that's because it saw that there was a contour cut, or it thought that there was, but it wasn't 100% sure because it wasn't labeled under the correct name. Once you put that name in there and you assign it and set it, then when you re-import the file, it will automatically put the registration marks like it should. And so that's going to be the new easy way to set these contour cut colors. One of those features that has been requested for a really long time. And so we decided that now would be a really good time to put that in. So again, we think this will make the things a lot easier, especially if you're getting files from customers that are using different colors, and you don't necessarily want to have to go into Flexi, import the file, change the contour cut color to something it'll recognize, come back, bring it into Production Manager, and print and cut it. This allows you to just take the job, import it in. If you know what the contour cut color is, you can just set that as whatever you want it to be, and then you'll be set. The software will recognize that new contour cut color once you do that. The important thing just to remember is you typically will always put that into your default job properties on the cutter first, if you can. And you can always come in here, and if you find that you don't use that color anymore, you can just delete it, get rid of it altogether, and now you can apply something else. So if this is something that you only run into occasionally, or you only need to do it once for one particular job, you can put it in there, come back, delete it, and get rid of it. Just that easy. So that is the new contour cut color, custom contour cut colors in Flexi. We think that this will really help you be able to be more flexible with your files and not have to do so much editing after the fact. You can freely tell that customer or that designer, use whatever color custom cut color you want. Just let me know what the name of it is. I'll input it into my software, and then we're good to go from there on out. So are there any other questions about this or about anything else in regards to Flexi itself?
Thanks, Aaron. We had one question while you were presenting. Yolanda asked, are you able to remove one cut color if you have two of them?
That's a good question. Let's see here. So let's do, let's go back into Flexi. So let's add another contour cut. And in this case, let's just do one of these so that we can differentiate them a little bit. And we'll just use our regular, I might have accidentally deleted my perfect cut contour. That's okay. We'll use one of the gray ones. No big deal. You can do this in Production Manager and Rip and Print. Let's see here. Okay, it's not letting me do it here. Let's save this as a PDF and see how we do from. Normally, you'd be able to tick that little box. So let's just do untitled. That's fine. There it is. Oh, I guess we got to go back to our printer here. Let's delete this job. Check that box. Now, for some reason, it's not seeing the contour cut from here. I think I've done something to mess this up. So let me close Production Manager and let me close Flexi. Let's save this real quick. To the desktop, we'll just call this test file. Just throw it on the desktop here. No, we're not going to save the swatch table just in case that was causing a problem. Restart Flexi and pull that file back up. We'll pull Production Manager back up as well. Okay, so it's not going to let you do it there, but let's see if Production Manager will let us do it here. Delete that job, we'll re-import it. There they are. Okay, so now we can, there should be a way, and maybe I'm mistaken, but okay, for some reason, some of these objects are not editable, and I'm not entirely sure why it's not letting me edit them. You used to be able to X out this cut line if you didn't want it to cut, and it's not letting us do that at the moment. So I'll have to figure out why it's not letting me do that. But typically, you'd be able to double click on this color and X it out if you just didn't want to cut that particular object. So that should be an option that's available, because you should also be able to pause the cut here. So, and it's not letting me do that. So I don't know if I've got a bug going on or something here. I might have a bug because I am using a developer version of the software to test bugs and things like that. So it's possible that I've got something going on there. Um, but you should be able to click this option and you get a little X over the cut mark. And then you can also hit pause, which is not letting me do here. But you should be able to do that, and that will cancel out that particular option. So that's how you would be able to stop a cut from happening. If there was two cuts in the file and you didn't want one to happen, you just come in here and click on that, and it would X that out, and then it just wouldn't cut that particular line. Or you could just have it not cut everything at all. Or if you don't want it to cut at all, you could just come in here and just say, don't send the cut job to the following cutter. And it'll take all the registration marks off and everything. And then you could just print it.